All right, hey guys, I'm Taylor from the Qube Money team, and tonight I'm going to walk you through how I use Qube Money on a daily basis. And I think the best way to do that is to show you all the categories and cubes that I use, planning for a month ahead. So let's go ahead and hop in. Okay, so here we are on the main screen. Now this is a demo account because obviously I don't want all of my information spread out over the internet, but we'll be able to do the majority of all the same things. So if you've never used Qube before, welcome. Qube is the world's first digital replica of the cash envelope system. So what we want users to do is to be proactive with their spending and make really conscious, smart decisions when they get to the register. And Qube is a tool that allows you to do just that. So on our overview screen, you'll see our available balance, and the available balance is just the total amount of money that's in all of your cubes across all of your accounts and categories. Below that is the cloud, and the cloud is kind of like a holding space. So whenever you have a deposit, or if you have your direct deposit connected to Qube, all the money will get stored in the cloud first, waiting for you to assign it purpose, waiting for you to give it a category. Below that, we have our bills, and bills are a big part of Qube. And what's so great about bills is that bills will actually allow you to have individual ACH and virtual account numbers with all of your cubes. So this is really important because it allows you to be really specific with your merchants that are connected. So let's say, for example, you have a Netflix bill cube or you have a Hulu bill cube. You have full control. So let's say you don't want to pay for Netflix or you want to cancel it for that month. You just pause it in the app and it automatically gets canceled on Netflix side. They don't have access to your entire account. All they have access to is that virtual card number attached to your bill cube. And that works with all merchants. So it's really, really handy and really, really cool feature. The next feature that we have is our spending cubes, and this is the bulk of where you'll probably do the most of your day-to-day spending. So you can have categories and cubes for anything, and I'll show you the ones that my wife and I use on a regular basis. And then below that we have goals, and goals are a new addition to Qube in the app. You've been able to have goals on the web app for quite some time, but in the Qube app you've only been able to view them. Well, now you can actually create goals, which is really cool. So goals are useful for saving for vacations or saving for Christmases or saving for birthdays. Anything that where you want to save money, goals are where you want to be. And then the last section that we have on the app is this Cubeless section. And Cubeless is if you want, and Cubeless allows you to have a little bit more flexibility per se. Let's say you're going to an area where you know you won't have cell service, or let's say you know that you won't have access to your phone. You can turn Cubeless on, and what that allows you to do is prevents you from having to choose a cube before you spend. It'll act just kind of like a normal debit card, and all the transactions that get processed will show up in your Cubeless area, ready for you to recategorize them when the time is right. And then the last thing on the screen is the funding, and funding is awesome. So right now, all I have in here is my Disney Gold Cube of $1,750 a month for my budget because we're going in June, so I got to start saving. But what funding does is it allows you to see all of your cubes across all categories, goals, bills, spending, and allows you to budget for all of them in one really easy area. And I'm the type of person that likes to budget on a monthly basis. I like to manually go in there and see what's going on. So I'm constantly on this screen every month, and we have some really great features that allows it to be a lot more easy and streamlined than a lot of the other apps that are out there, and we'll go over those. Okay, and then last on the screen is at the bottom. I guess my card is on the way for this demo account, but this is kind of like where your system notifications will be. So if you're just signing up for Qube, you'll be able to see that your card has been shipped, and then we also have some promotional things that show up here. So let's first hop in and let's just create a cube, right? It's really easy. So I'll hop over to my spending screen and I'm going to click on the add cube button up at the top, and pretty much everybody has to eat, right? So let's make a category for groceries. Groceries. That is the correct spelling. Good, thank you. And let's see, let's pick a cool icon. I'm going to use a shopping cart, and pink looks good for groceries. All right, so your monthly budget. My wife and I, we have 2 kids, and our monthly budget for groceries for the past couple of months has been about $750. And tip, we shop at Aldi's. Aldi's is great. Aldi's is great. I'll leave it there. All right, so now we have our groceries cube. And the first time that you create a cube, it's going to ask you, do you want to fund the cube now? You don't have to do this. You can fund it later. You can fund it whenever you'd like. But if you have the money available in your cloud and you want to do it, create your cubes real quickly, you can do fund this cube now. I'm going to hit done just so that we can add a couple more. All right, so on this info screen on your cube details, you're going to see the budget. So I'm budgeting kind of mid-month, so that's why it's saying 12 days left. Right now, everything's based on a 30-day schedule or a monthly schedule. And what will happen is as the month goes by and as you spend, that green line will increase or decrease based upon how much you've spent. And then at the bottom we'll say funding, and that'll just tell you how much you've actually funded. So budgeting is how much you're planning for, and then funding is actually distributing those dollars into the actual cube. If I click over to activity, this is just going to show me all the activity that's happened within that cube. This is a brand new cube, so no activity. And then up here, I can click on the money transfer and I can move money around from here. And then I can also open my cube if I click that little green square. Okay, so I'm going to hop back over to my main screen. The next cube I'm going to do is, let's say eating out. That's another really popular category in our house. So I'm going to click a category called eating out, and I'm going to choose this icon, and I'm going to choose purple. And for our monthly budget for eating out is usually, well, it depends. If we have extra income coming into the month, we sometimes splurge and we'll do like $300. Otherwise, it's pretty much around $150. We have a pretty tight budget, which is really important. Okay, so now that we have eating out created, same categories same details on this screen. So same thing as it was for groceries. I'm gonna hop back. And I'm going to create another one. We'll do gas because everybody has to pay for gas. Although I have an electric car now and I actually get to charge for free at a Nissan dealer, which is awesome. Saves me like $300 a month. Quick tip. But my wife, we have a minivan, so it's a gas guzzler and it uses some gas. So let's find the one for gas. I think we have a cool icon. Kaylee does a really good job on these things. Let's see. I'll use that one. And gas looks like it's red. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to do $250 a month for gas. Okay, done. And go back. And so I've created 3. I think I'm going to stop there, but it would be the same process for these, right? You'd go through, you'd add all of your different categories. If you're brand new to budgeting, I highly suggest you check out Qube Masters, which is our education platform that will walk you through from start to finish how to budget, how to invest, how to be wise with your money. It's heavily based on habits and creating healthy habits, and a lot of the research from James Clear, Atomic Habits. So a really cool course. Every Qube Money user gets free access to a couple of our lessons, and then you can pay for the full course. But highly, highly recommend that. And it's all geared and modeled over how to use Qube Money effectively. Okay. So we created some of our spending cubes. Now we're going to hop in and we're going to take a look at some of the bills. So bills, like I said, are really, really cool because bills act like their own little individual banks kind of. So let's say I wanted to create a bill and I'm going to call this Netflix, right? And I'm going to come down and I'm going to choose the movie. Netflix is red. Hit next. And I'm going to choose virtual. And this bill is paid monthly. And it's usually due on the last day of the month, the 31st. Hit next. And I pay about $12 a month for Netflix and the bill amount. And what's cool here is you have so much control here. So let's say that the merchant tried to charge you $12.05, right? If you hit decline charge, if different than $12, it'll decline the charge and the charge won't go through. So it's not just going to be able to pull money out of your account. Our bill cubes give you really, really good control so that you know exactly where your money's going. It's top-notch stuff. It's really, really cool. They did a great job on this. All right, so again, we created a cube and it's going to go into our cube details. So here we'll see our monthly budget just like in our spend cubes. We'll see the bill amount, the frequency, the due date, and then we'll also see these virtual account numbers and virtual card numbers. So again, every bill cube has its own account number and it has its own card number. So gives you super good flexibility. One of the things that we're going to be doing when we go to Disney is we're going to create separate bill cubes for spending, for just kind of like discretionary spending. I'll create one for my son Gray, another one for my son Pierce, and we'll put some money in there, and then we can link those bill cubes to our magic bands, right? And when we go, we can just swipe our magic bands, and we know that it's only coming out of those bill cubes. So it gives you really, really good control and prevents you from overspending, because if there's no money left, it's just going to decline it. So really, really cool. It also is going to show you at the bottom the stats. So it's going to tell you your total lifetime paid, and then it's going to show you again like your funding. So total lifetime paid, let's say it's like a mortgage or something like that, you'll be able to see how many payments you've made over the course of the bill. So we create a Netflix. For the sake of time, I'm not going to do any additional bills, but you can create bills for anything. I have them for my mortgage. I have them for my utilities. I have them for my giving. I have them for everything. So really, really cool and really, really flexible. I can't stress that enough. They're awesome. All right, so the last category is goals, and goals are brand new to the app, but they work very similar to everything else, and they allow you to really forecast and plan pretty well. So let's hop in. I'm going to create a new cube, and I'm going to call it. We already did one for Disney. Let's say Christmas, right? So Christmas is not a surprise, guys. It happens every year at the same time, December 25th. So we can budget for it. So what we do is we choose Christmas, and we say, okay, we have a lot of people, big family. We got 2 kids, we have extended family, so we're gonna put in $1,000 for Christmas. That's my goal, and I want this goal to be due December, January, October. Oh, there we go. December. We'll say December 1st because I got to shop December 1st, and I'm gonna hit next, and I'm gonna budget. Let's budget $100 and see what happens. See what it tells us. Okay, we'll go to info. Okay, so it's a very similar screen. We're going to see our goal amount or goal date. You can also enable spending or not enable spending. So let's say that your goal is for Christmas. You're saving up, but like a sale comes in July, right? And you want to spend from that. What you can do is you can flip on this enable spending, and it's going to allow you to choose your goal cube as an actual cube that you can swipe your card for. So flexibility, really good. But what I wanted to show you is that what I put in for my budget was $100, but the system knows, it says, okay, it'll give you a little notification here with like a little yellow arrow, and it's going to say you still need $111 a month to reach your goal. So what that means is, okay, I need a budget of $111. So I'll go back in here and I'll change this to 112 just to make sure, hit save. And you'll notice that when I do that, that little goal status goes away, and that indicates that I'm on track to meet my goal. So good stuff. Okay. So we did bills, spending, goals, Cubeless. Okay, so Cubeless, I don't have an example to show you, but this is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to use Cubeless, what you'll do is you'll go into Cubeless, and then you can choose this gear icon, and then you have some options here. So you can use Cubeless for ACH transactions. So those are things that like where you connect your account number, it'll automatically pull those out of your account. Or you can use them for debit card transactions. And by default, they're off. So let me just turn them off so you can see what it looks like. And then when you turn them on, so I'll turn on debit card transactions, there's actually a limit. So not only does it give you flexibility, but it still allows you to remain in control, right? So you can still set a limit. So you can't go nuts when you have Cubeless on, because let's say you set it to $150. Once that limit is hit, once you have X amount of transactions that have hit $150, it's going to turn it off. So good stuff. That's Cubeless. A lot of people like Cubeless, especially if you're in instances where you forgot your phone, or you know you're not going to be with a service and you can't use the app. Cubeless is a great way to still be able to use cubes, still be able to use your categories, and spend how you need to. Okay. Okay, so funding. So let's pretend that, let's pretend that these are the only categories that I have for a month. That's not true. I have a ton of categories. I love cubes. But what I can do here is I can hop in and I can say, okay, I see all my budgets on the left right here, right? And then on the right-hand side, that's the funding. And what funding is like I said, it's going to take money from your cloud balance. It's going to say, okay, what's the budget for this category? And then it's going to put it into funding. There's a couple different ways that you can fund. We have our product team did a really great job of thinking about the ways that people budget on a monthly or weekly or whatever basis, and we've tried to help speed that up. Because if I'm going through here and let's say I have 30 cubes, going in here one by one and typing in the numbers, that's going to take a really long time. So if you click on the it looks like a little can with paint coming out of it. These are our quick fill options. And quick fill allows you to do a variety of different tasks. So you can fill 100% of your budget, you can fill 50% of your budget, you can fill to the budgeted amount, you can fund that whatever's left, right? So let's say that you had $50 in out of your $112, you can hit left to fund and it'll add enough funds to reach that monthly budget amount. And then you can also fill underfunded bills. So quick fill options are awesome. If you're brand new to budgeting, never had a budget before, I'd say probably go through and do it manually a couple of times so you can kind of learn what your spending habits are. But once you have it dialed in, those quick fill options are great. And we're going to have some updates in the future on our roadmap that will actually allow you to automate a lot of this stuff too. But I'm a manual person, and I like to kind of go in monthly just to see things. We also have this button that allows you to kind of see more details or not. So if you can click it and turn it off, that'll allow you to see the balance and funded, those kinds of things. And then we have the eraser tool that will allow you to erase amounts. You can also go in, let's say I had, so Disney's, if I put 1750 in right here, right? I can go in, I can swipe to the left, I can hit clear, and it's going to clear that amount out. So you can get really creative. Let's say I could come in here, I could do 100% of budget, right? It adds all the money. But let's say no, you know what? I don't want to eat this month. Let's say that's the case. I can come in here, swipe left, and clear it, and it doesn't affect anything else. So it allows you to save time and just do what you need to do. Okay, so all your stuff's funded. The last thing that you're going to do is go ahead and click on Fund Cubes. It's going to do its magic dance. It's going to say, okay, it's funded, awesome. And we can hop back over and we can see our funded cubes, right? So the money's been moved over. And because we're not eating this, having groceries, that's zero. That probably wasn't the best example, but hey, that is what it is. But let's say I'm at the gas station, right? Get out of my car, I'm ready to do some gas. So I'm gonna come into the app, I'm gonna tap that 250. It's gonna activate the card, swipe it at the gas station. As soon as the transaction is done, it's gonna close the cube automatically and remove the funds right from that cube. So you're proactive, you're looking at your budget before you make a purchase. There's no tracking afterwards. You don't have to go in 2-3 days later and look at your activity and kind of reorganize things. Everything happens in real time. Your decisions happen in real time. Your categories happen in real time. And that's where habits happen. That's where they're formed, whether good or bad. It happens in the moment, not after the fact. So Qube is a really good tool to keep you on track, to create good, healthy spending habits and stick to them in the long run. All right. I think that's it for today. We'll have probably some other series where we'll hop in and kind of show you some different examples. I'll probably do a new budget month for April, when actually I'll do my actual budget. My day gig is I'm a technology coordinator in a school district, and I have a heavy teaching background. So for the longest time, my wife and I was just us on kind of one income, and we had to get really specific and get really creative in the ways that we utilized our money so that we could, meet all of our immediate needs, but also be saving for the future. And I'll show you the categories and percentages and things that I've used that have been really successful for me and our family. But a little bit different style today, guys. It was a little bit more hands-on. I hope you've learned something. I hope that this video has been helpful. And yeah, be sure to subscribe for all the latest updates with Qube Money, and I will see you next time. Thanks.